Hey there, my name is Mr. Dan. Okay, have you ever wondered why some choirs don't actually do well? Let's say they started up very well and at a point they just crashed down. There are 5 habits that can actually hinder the growth or limit the growth of any choir. They are not just 5, but I want to talk about 5 habits in this video. Conflict is one of the habits that can actually limit choir growth. When you have people that are offended, you have people that feel disrespected. Now, when you have this set of persons in the choir, you just discover that people start leaving the choir. People are not in the spirit of the choir anymore because of conflict, misunderstanding, and people feeling disrespected. You should know that you can't really control how people feel at a point. You can't even really control the emotions, so you should learn how to understand people in choir. Okay, unseriousness in the choir is one of the things that also can really hinder the growth of a choir. Having people that are nonchalant, having people that are not really serious with the activities of the choir. So I think an audition should be carried out in every choir. Before you have intakes of members, you should also know what they want to achieve, why they want to be in the choir, how long and why they want to be among you, so you control the level of unserious people you admit to the choir. I believe the choir is not for everyone. Lateness is a habit that shouldn't be tolerated in any choir. Lateness has the ability to bring down the choir to the last. So I think that this habit should be given a disciplinary measure and should not be taken so casually. And I feel also the person responsible for this discipline should be steadfast and not also fall a victim of the same thing, because if you have people in the choir that comes late, everyone has an excuse. So don't give a room for lateness, don't give a room for excuses when it comes to lateness. Many people in our society feel every musician, every choir member is not disciplined. Why? Because of most of the actions carried out by most of the choir members. So I believe that every choir should have rules and regulations to restrict a certain behavior found in choir when it comes to little behaviors like side talks, disrespect, attitude, and other sort of things that can create offenses. Now, if discipline is brought into a choir, it reduces the amount of offense and also misunderstandings you have in choir. Why? Because a disciplinary measure will be also allocated to each of the habits when it's brought up to control what happens in the choir when it comes to human attitude. Lack of effective rehearsals. Oh, this one is very visible if you don't have good rehearsal. This is what shows, this is what the public sees. Why? Because if you come to church on a Sunday after the rehearsals and you still mess up, then something really happened in the rehearsal before that. So I believe that every choir should, or I suggest that every choir should have an effective rehearsal. Means if you should draw a schedule for rehearsals, maybe 3 times a week, you should have a plan on what you will achieve in each of the rehearsals per time. Like if you have 2 hours scheduled for a day, you should have it planned. The songs for the Sunday should already be brought out and given to people to score, and it should be given before the rehearsal, not before Sunday, but before the rehearsal, so people will listen to these songs before coming for rehearsals. So the song ought to be learned to 50% before the rehearsals, so every stone will be turned, so you don't leave any stone unturned. So on Sunday you have a beautiful ministration to give. So effective rehearsals should be one of it should be planned. Rehearsals should be planned in every of your rehearsal. Have a plan set out for it. So this habit and more can limit the growth of any choir. So if you're a music director, a choir director, or in charge of any choir, you should look out for this habit and have a control to them. Hope this video was helpful. Have a wonderful day.